All right. Let's make a game. Oh, I should check my mic is on. Yep, that looks good. I think I'm ready. If anyone's here, tell me if you could hear me fine. Or if I need to adjust the volume at all or anything. Hey, Game Endeavor. Nice to see you. Cool. All right. All right, so the plan for today, we're gonna put together, oh, I should probably tweet I'm on. We're gonna put together a little itty bitty basic, there we go, little itty bitty basic turn-based battle system. It's not gonna go super in depth, but it will be something. So I'm not gonna do this all freehand. Last night I went and put a little something together. Hello Jupiter Sky, hello Element 83. But yeah, I'm gonna follow along with what I have, and then we're gonna go from there. So I have this project on my laptop next to me, and I'm trying to think of what order I'm gonna do this. Basically, all we're gonna have are 4 different scenes. One of them is going to be the main battle scene. It's going to hold the player and it's going to hold the enemy, and it's also going to have the menu. Hello, Shohan. So the menu will be its own thing, and the player and enemies will both borrow from an actor class. I'm calling them actors for anything that, you know, has moves and can attack anyone else. Actors are going to include any enemy, the player, and any partners. Luca asks, hey, does your tutorial for Zelda-like work for 3.1? If not, where can I find one that is working? So someone did in my Discord make a, there's a zip file somewhere in there. I'll pin it later of everything. It's just the series, but updated to 3.1. However, I was in the process of updating to 3.2. I only made one tutorial and it's not up publicly yet. I want to say you could expect that soon, but I've been saying that for a while. But any issues that you're having with it, the first few episodes do work. Any questions or things that aren't working with it, you could just pop in the Discord. Otherwise, eventually. Yeah, turn-based battle time. Yeah, you did say Final Fantasy. This has been something in my head for a while, but then I think reading that was like, hey, I should just go do it. Took me maybe an hour or 2 to figure out what I'm gonna do here. It's gonna look really bad, by the way. But whatever. Let's just get started. So first thing we're gonna do is we're going to start with the menu. Menu is gonna be real basic. It's just gonna have 3 buttons. And yeah, it's gonna be whatever. Let's stick it right here. Okay, so this is gonna be called the action menu. So this is going to be everything that the player could do is gonna be in this little menu here, and that's going to have 3 buttons. Making about this big, and eventually in a future stream we're going to put these into submenus, but for now it's just gonna be, just keep in mind everything we're gonna do here is gonna look real ugly. And just checking in again, everyone could see what I'm doing, everyone could hear me, right? Is the resolution all good? Is the bitrate good? Just let me know. But this is going to be just a regular attack. Difficult to make battle like Final Fantasy. So, I mean, the actual turn-based stuff is pretty simple, I think. Once you get into, you know, having all the stats, having all the different moves that could have different effects. Once you get into all that stuff, it could become a lot. But all RPGs could be like that. For my because I'm gonna make on the stream, I'm gonna make my own project right now. This first stream right now, if you want to make a very, very, very basic, very basic turn-based system, I already have it all mapped out, so you could technically follow this one along, but and whatever I do here is probably going to be what the video will be, because I am going to turn these into a video. But as time goes on, because this is going to be here's what I think. I've been having trouble streaming just because I couldn't find very streamable projects, meaning projects that are interesting enough that I care to talk about every single thing I'm doing. Stars Align was really fun, but once it got to just creating levels, that got really boring for me. I'm sorry if any of you were interested in it, or interested in anything I do. Like Terra Labyrinth, that was another one. But I think this one should be interesting, because I mean, RPGs are fun, and I want to make this one like Paper Mario. The basic system, who's texting me? The basic system of it is going to be basic system of Paper Mario. It's all going to be just regular turn-based stuff that anyone should be able to take and adapt to their own thing. It's basically going to be separated into 4 parts, which I'll get to once we get to the script. And yeah, I'll get there. But for now, let's just create this menu, because this is going to be the first part of the script. I'm not going to make folders right now. I'm just going to have this here. So here's what I got. We need a signal for selection made. So this is going to be what alerts the main turn handler, is what I'm going to call it right now. It's going to alert the turn handler that we're finished, and basically we're just going to connect everything to a function that will emit that signal. So, oh man, it's so weird talking right now. Last couple times I tried to stream, it was just so hard for me to speak. But let's see how this goes. I am stuttering a little bit. Oh, another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna force myself to start doing static typing, just because I know it's supposed to be much better, and it's not too hard to remember how to do it, so I'm just gonna try to do it. But anyway, this is where we're going to connect all our buttons, but we're going to connect them all to one function called select. It's going to have a string, which is going to be whatever the button is. Here, I'll get to it. And it's also going to have a magic count, and it will not return anything. If anyone doesn't use the static typing and wants me to explain any of that, I can, but otherwise I'm just gonna move ahead. So for now, we're just going to emit signal. I'm literally just reading my laptop next to me. Selection made with the selection. This is going to go a little bit further in a little bit. But let's just start with this. Oh, static typing. Basically, you're basically telling it what each and every variable should be, and what each and every function should return. And it's supposed to be, if you make a mistake, like you accidentally pass something wrong to a function, it could spit out an error saying, "Hey, that's wrong." It's just good, and I have to use it because I'm learning C++, so I might as well use it in GDScript. Yes, do the stars come in from the left or the right? What did we settle on? I don't know what it was, but I know it was the right choice. Because I'm not going to admit that I had any preconceived opinion. But I do remember a good half of y'all being wrong. So, yeah, so we're just going to emit the signal. And we're going to attach all these dudes. So we're going to connect pressed, so there's just a signal on the button, so whenever it's pressed, it'll run whatever function we're going to say. We're going to connect it to ourself. It's just going to do the select. And then inside here, we could pass some arguments, and it's going to be the attack thing, and it's going to cost 0 MP. So that's how I'm organizing this right now. That's what cost is. Then we could just copy this 3 times. Oops. This will be fireball, and this will be heal, and then this will also be called fireball, heal. This will cost 4 MP, and this will cost, let's say 8. Will this tutorial cover changing the number, type, etc. of attacks in the menu during gameplay? What do you mean by that? I'd like this series to be, depending on how far I go with it, pretty comprehensive, but for the beginning, can you just explain what you meant? Also, this is just gonna show, and this is gonna hide. We'll update the HUD? Yes. Not today though. But yeah, I'm gonna have separate menus where this will be your attacks, this will be your spells, blah blah blah. That will definitely be in the tutorial, but not in this specific project, because like I said earlier, I want to make a little Paper Mario sort of thing, which will be, the menu is going to be totally different once I get there, but for now, this is what we're going to use. And it's also going to have, you know, you could use the arrow keys and press a button instead of having to manually click it. Learn attacks in game, or will that's definitely something I'm going to cover in a future stream. Let me, for this stream, we're going to start with just having a player that can attack an enemy and an enemy that chooses a random attack on the player. And then right now I think it's just going to output to the console. That's all I got to on my laptop. This is just something I was doing last night and at school today. But I'd also like to make a little on-screen console. But later, everything will be a lot more visual, and we won't have text like that. But yeah, I might as well just finish this right now. This isn't going to mean anything to anyone right now, but this action menu is going to be a child of the main game state node, which is going to handle everything, all the turns and stuff. So I'm just going to add this right now. If game state player MP, oh no, I will do this in a second. Yeah, let's wait on that. But we do need game state, and now let's create that game state. So this is going to be called battle, and then we're going to have the action menu in the battle right there. Let's lock that, and we're also going to need an enemy, a player, some other stuff. But for now, let me just show you how this is going to be laid out. So we're only going to have, let's see, 3 functions here. The main one we're going to be worrying about right now is called turn. Function turn returns nothing. So I don't want anything to be processing every frame here. Everything's just going to be waiting for the player to do something, you know? It's going to be split into 4 sections, okay? We're going to have player turn, which will include player select and player execute. And then we're going to have enemy turn, which will have enemy select and enemy execute. In between these, in between these, we're going to check for enemy death. And here we're going to check for player death. And then at the end, we'll repeat. And repeat will just run this function again. So this is all it is, really. For any turn-based thing that you're going to do, I think you could split into these 4 things. I'd also like, before I do the tutorial, I'm going to do a little more research on this. I sort of just started typing this out, and I think it's, once you see it, I think it's pretty elegant. But this could go for, you know, if you're going to make chess, you're going to have at one point the player is going to pick where he's going to move his thing, and then it's going to execute here, and then maybe not your opponent dying, but here. And if you're going to do a tactics game, this is going to be where you select where your guys are going to move, and this is where it's going to happen. So I think every single turn could be put into right here. How are we going to do that specifically? Well, first, we got to ask the player to select something. Let's save this. So player select. First, we're going to show our menu. This is going to be hidden at certain parts of the turn. Yeah, activate is just show. So we're going to activate our menu, and there might be other stuff in activate later. Just didn't get there yet. And then we're going to get the player selection. It's going to be a string. Remember this. This signal is going to spit out whatever attack we pick. If we press attacked, it's going to get attack, and then it's going to spit out attack. Fireball, 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 you know? So how we're going to do that is we're going to wait in this script. We're going to yield until that signal happens, okay? And then after that, we will deactivate. So all this is at this point in the turn, we're just going to go down this line, going to show the thing. Then right here, with this yield, it's going to stop and wait until the player, until it gets the signal. So it's basically just going to wait until the player presses the button. And then once the player presses the button, we have that in this variable player selection. In the tutorial, I'll probably split this up a little more just so it's easier to read. And then we'll hide the thing. Then here we're just going to execute. We don't have the player yet, so not going to do that right now. But for now, we could at least figure out what it is. Oops. So what should happen now is menu will show. It's already shown by default. We're never going to see it hide until we add the enemy stuff. It's going to show. It's going to ask. It's going to wait until we tell it what to do, and then it's going to print what it's going to do, and then it'll get down here, and then it'll repeat. So let's hit run. Select battle. Yeah. I just downloaded this literally a minute before the stream started, the new version of Godot. So if we hit attack, player selection is attack. It goes through the whole thing. Later when we have the enemy stuff, it'll go through all the enemy stuff first, but otherwise it just loops right back. And then, you know, we could hit attack, fireball, heal. So there's the player's selection. Yes, I'm using 3.2 release candidate 2. So there's the player selection, and now we need to do all the enemy stuff. So enemy, I'm just gonna make him a node 2D. He's gonna have a little sprite. It's gonna be the default icon. On my project, I have him a little bit bigger, and I made him red. But like I said, everything here is gonna be changed. I am liking 3.2. Gonna be honest, can't remember specifically what's been added. I know there's that one thing that made me excited was this whole editor features thing. No, I've had the beta. This is the release candidate. I used the beta for Touch of Force, which I'd also like to get back in the swing of. I've been out because last semester sucked. I ended up doing fine except for one class that I got to retake, but everything else I did well. But that one class was enough to make me not really want to do anything for. I wanted to enjoy my Christmas break, and unfortunately I was feeling a little weary of streaming and stuff. But nah, this is what I want to do right now, and I am hoping to be doing this regularly again. Do you program your games in GD Script or C Sharp? I don't know C Sharp, so GD Script. Another stream I'd like to do soon is programming in C++. Not economics, English. I'm usually good at English, but I get ahead of myself, or I get full of myself thinking I'm so good at it that I don't have to do my paper, and then I didn't do my paper. So this is going to be the enemy. He's going to have a few choices. We're going to give him attack, ice attack, and heal. So same thing as the player. Oh, this is supposed to be an array. And then we're going to make selection, and this is going to return a string. I've been typing void in front of all my functions, but that's what it looks like when it returns anything else. And basically we're just going to take a random number from that list. Non-void, yeah, I'll get there. And then selection will be that, and then we'll return selection. How do you update your version of Godot? Do you install it over the old version, or do you create a new folder for it? I just kind of stick it in here. See, I have a bunch of different versions here. I like keeping everything else just in case something wrong's happened, but for like 3.2, I'm never going to use 3.2 beta 1 again, so I'll probably delete that when I clean up. But yeah, make selection, and then we need, okay, let's not do the execute thing yet. This is enough for now. So enemy, save, and so now we're just going to enemy select. This is going to be the same thing as the other thing. We're going to do enemy selection equals, we don't need to yield here, not yet, just because we only yield because we have to wait for the player to do something, but this is going to be instant, so it's just going to run in this line. Later, when no, enemy won't yield at all, ever. So yeah, string is going to equal, oh, we need to add the enemy to the scene first. So let's do that. Stick him right there. And by the way, we're also going to have multiple enemies and even multiple party members for the player. However, I didn't do that yet. What I'm thinking is going to be, it's just going to be, we're going to do this multiple times. Like 4 member and party size, do that. And then the same thing for enemy. So I don't think it'll be that much of a difference. All the enemies will select at once, and then the enemy will execute. I think the player in Paper Mario, because I'm trying to make this like Paper Mario, as soon as you select something, you do the attack, and then your partner goes and does the attack. It's not like other RPGs where both players select their things, and then both enemies select their things, and then it carries out depending on like a speed stat. That's something I might cover in the tutorial. I'm not sure yet. It'll just be basically reordering this stuff in code. But for now, gonna keep it simple. Especially for my own project, just gonna keep it simple. Because the main cool part of this Paper Mario project, if any of you haven't played Paper Mario, the main thing about it is when you attack, it's interactive. Think Mario and Luigi did the same thing. Undertale did something similar with the attack where there's that little slider. Can't think of any other examples right now. But anyway, enemy selection, we're just going to enemy make selection. And it should return a selection and store it in this string. And enemy execute, we're just going to do Enemy selection plus enemy selection. So what we should have here is when I hit a button, it should say player selection attack, enemy selection something. Yeah, enemy selection heal. That, yeah. And it's all instantaneous right now. Once you have like dialogue boxes, then you would be yielding until the dialogue boxes are done. But I'm not going to cover dialogue today. I did dialogue in a different stream, but so it's something I could just stick on, but I'm going to try to keep this as focused as I can. Because that was my issue with my last couple streams that are not public anymore now just because I was embarrassed by them, but I would lose track of everything I'm doing like immediately. And that's why I haven't streamed in a while. But now I have a big old plan on what we're going to do, and we're just going to do it. So next, we're going to make the player. So the enemy and the player are going to keep track of all their logic for all their attacks. This is just to make it easier in my mind. Technically, everything here could just be extra variables right here. But yeah, I gotta practice streaming again. It was so easy during the summer. I don't know what happened. Just lost whatever. If there was anything there to begin with, it definitely wasn't there then. So here's gonna be the player. And meanwhile, we're also going to create another script, and this is going to be called actor. So this is going to be the class that handles anything that can interact with each other. So an actor for the player, like a player, whatever. this is just a class, you know. And let me look at what my actor script looks like real quick. Oh, this has a lot. So let's just fill this out right now. We have max HP is an integer. It's going to start at 15. HP is also an integer. It's going to start at max HP. And MP integer 20. Going to have signal executed. This is just going to be if we have to yield until it gets carried out. We're going to use that signal. We have function spend cost, and it's going to return nothing. All this is going to do is MP minus equals cost. Print damage. And the rest are the actual attacks. Now, here's the thing. For this specific game that I want to make for myself, the player will have all of his own attacks, and I think the enemy will have... No, I think each enemy will have to have their own attacks, because each one is going to have their own animation. And the players are going to be interactable. Like, each enemy I'm going to have, like... Imagine Paper Mario. Mario comes up here, stands right about here and hits the hammer, or Mario jumps and lands right about here. Each enemy I'm going to have like different points hard-coded into each individual enemy, like where the player will stop. And all that logic, the enemy's never going to use that logic, so that's going to be in the player. However, for now, for a JRPG, enemies and players, they could use the same attacks, it doesn't matter. It's just dealing damage. So I think for now, I am just going to put the attacks in the actor script. All of them. So attack, target, actor. So you're only ever going to be able to attack an actor. That's what that means. If something else happens, then I fucked up. There'll be damage equals... There. So this basically... So random integer takes any random integer between like 0 and 32,000 something something something. This just mods it by 4, meaning it could only go from 0 to 4, or 0 to 3 rather, and then plus 1, so it only goes from 1 to 4. So that's all that means. You could also do like ran range from 0 to 4 or 1 to 4. That'll be a float, so you will do integer. But actually, I'm going to do that. I think that's a little easier to read. So int ran range 1 to 4. And then here I just have it subtracting the damage, but I think here I'm going to do oh, true. Don't forget randomize. Do you have to do that per script or per script or per scene? I guess I'll just do it in the script. You won't need to use the state machine to control turns? What do you mean by that? This is how the turns are going. Each turn has the player turn, and you wait till this stuff, and then you execute it. Then the enemy turn, you wait till he makes a selection, then you execute it, and then it just repeats. I'd like to see a full tutorial on how to do a game in Godot like Stardew Valley. I'd love to make a game like Stardew Valley. There's a couple different things that go into that. Like, basic movement and stuff would just be, you know, 8-direction movement. Then a lot of it would just be you would need a very good inventory thing, and then the rest would be just adding different tiles to tile maps. And I've been wanting to make adding tiles to tile maps, like basically a level editor. And the same logic would go to Stardew Valley. Oh yeah, you're doing that base building ARPG, I think? Is that what it was called? I was curious about the base building part, because I haven't been following along super closely, but that got me interested. Anyway, HP minus equals amount. That's it. So when we attack, we're going to do target damage. We're also going to print damage. Oh. Dumg. So let's repeat this for a couple different things. This is going to be fireball. This is going to be ice. Both of these are going to do the same damage. It's going to do anywhere from 4 to 8. Yeah, you only got 15 minutes catch up, or like 20 something minutes. I don't know how math works. And then healing. Still fleshing that out. Originally my idea was like RimWorld, but you could directly control your player. Now I'm moving more towards Stardew Valley, a system where you could decorate, but the goal will be to improve the town. Nice. Just make Animal Crossing, but with guns. So I'm forgetting to... yeah, I'm still getting used to this. I can't remember to put void at the end. If I keep forgetting forever, I'm gonna reset. Or I'm just gonna do dynamic. Or whatever it is, whatever I was doing before. So heal will just be... could go anywhere up to... You'll heal 6 points up to your max HP. And then HP plus equals heal. And then print string healed amount. Yeah. So really, we sort of have everything in place, but let's just do it for the enemy right now, and then we'll do it for the player. So both of these guys will have an execute function. It's going to execute whatever their selection was, and the enemy's choice is going to be a random thing from here. Eventually, I'd also like to have different weights on different attacks. Like maybe they'll only use this attack sometimes, or maybe they'll be less likely to use attacks at certain, like if they don't have that much, or if they have too low health, then they'll heal, stuff like that. But that'd be a whole stream. Target has to be a actor. Does that work? Yes, okay. So then we'll just match the selection. If it's attack, attack the target. If it's ice, ice the target. And if it's heal, then heal. And when we're done, we'll just emit the signal executed, which is defined in actor, but this does not extend actor right now. So there. Why isn't that green? It's annoying. This also needs to extend actor. Stardew Valley, but with meat. Oh, speaking of which, oh, there's a lot of viewers today. Would anyone be interested in me streaming asset design? Making, basically, this is going to be a 3D game. Mine is going to be a 3D game. The tutorial is going to be 2D. But my game's going to be 3D, and I did a 3D modeling stream before that people liked, I think. And I'd like to do that again, but now I could also draw the textures. Like, let me show you what I was working on. Here. So stuff like this. I did one with Mabe Village from Link's Awakening, and it took me like 8 hours, I think, or like 6 hours, 5 hours, and I thought it was pretty fun. So yeah, I'll do like basic modeling this thing out in SketchUp. I want to learn how to do it in Blender, but I'll probably do it in SketchUp because that's what I know. And then I'll also do drawing out the things because I just got a new graphics tablet, which is the coolest freaking thing I own. But anyway, that's something I was thinking of doing. Like I was thinking that was gonna be my first stream, but I thought if people weren't interested in that, they wouldn't want me to start streaming with something no one cares about. But it looks like some people are caring about this. This is also the first one I scheduled, so I think that might have helped. Scheduled this like 5 hours ago. What tablet did I get? Oh, dude, what tablet did I get? Oogie 2150. So my friend sold this to me. I'm still paying it off. I owe her money. She bought it for like $500 or $600, like, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. But she barely uses it because she uses it on her laptop. But I think now she uses her iPad, and she sold this to me for $300. However, only I have a whole ass payment plan. $100 a month. I paid the first 100. In a little bit, I'll pay the next 100, and yeah, it's so freaking cool. I've been drawing on my Surface Go, which has been nice enough. But this is like, oh, it's so freaking exciting. So I've been doodling a lot. If any of you care about my doodles, but doodle. Speaking of Stardew Valley, here's my wife. Anyway, whatever. Back to this. So yeah, I'd like to do a stream with modeling and texturing. Sounds like some of you might be interested in that. But anyway, so This is gonna be Paper Mario styled, so I might do this on stream, like drawing out the stuff, because I know how to do the Paper Mario Sorry, I always get distracted in my streams anytime I start thinking about other projects, but here's what I was working on. Why won't the controls work? My project settings. Why did my project settings get deleted? Sorry, 1 second. This is relevant because this is what the project's gonna merge with in a bit. So this is relevant. Maybe not Paper Zelda, but I do too many Zelda things on this channel. But here we go. So here's what I want my game to be kind of like. This kind of art. On stream, maybe if people are interested, I'd be doing art like this. I'm getting better at this, so if I do continue with this specific scene, then I want to redo him. And then, you know, texturing each individual thing, and then it might be fun. But this is what this current game is gonna be like. Okay. Yeah, well, I'll get back to the other thing in 1 second. But yeah, this is my plan for this guy. I might just end up making it Paper Zelda, because I don't want this to be a big plan. So I might as well do a fan game, and not have to design every single character and location and blah blah blah. And then, you know, give it. I just want a new Paper Mario game, guys. It's so upsetting. So I took it upon myself to try to make my own. Anyway, enemy selection. So here, enemy execute, blah blah blah. Enemy selection is gonna be this. So all this will be is in enemy execute. We'll say what he selected, and then we'll just do enemy execute. It's going to execute the enemy selection that was just made up here, and it will do it towards the player. And then once we have multiple party members, player does not exist yet. Once we have multiple party members, then it'll like pick a random one, you know? So you could see how all of this is very, very simple, but you could see how it could be expanded, right? I'm proud of this. I'm pretty proud of this. I want to know more about Paper Zelda. Me too. It's something that I'm kind of working on that maybe this is going to turn into. But just Paper Mario, but with a Zelda aesthetic. I was also thinking of making a... You know what might be interesting is a Paper Breath of the Wild. For anyone who's played Breath of the Wild, there's I'm assuming more people have played Breath of the Wild than Paper Mario, though. But instead of having like FP, magic points in Paper Mario, instead you would just have... your item list will be split into bows and swords or melee weapons, and then you'll just have a big list of all your items, and they'll have like maybe 2 or 3 hits because of durability. And then spears will have its own spears will have, oh, maybe you press a button 3 times in succession and stab them 3 times. And swords will be, oh, maybe it's like just like the hammer where you just hold back and let go. Bows will have their own thing. I think that would be interesting, but I don't think people like durability, so I'm probably not going to do that for this project. Because that's basically Paper Mario Sticker Star, but with the Zelda theme. And everybody loves Sticker Star. So let's add this player. We just need to put him right here. Hello? Nope, that's the wrong thing. I just overwrote that, didn't I? I did. Oopsie. How did I do that? How did I miss? Okay, whatever. Come on. Alright. Just put this guy right down here. Very, very, very basic. Very, very, very basic. Alrighty, variable player equals player. Enemy execute, enemy selection player, blah blah blah. Yeah. Here is where we're gonna check for enemy death. So after the player does his attack, that's when we'll check if the enemy died, because we wouldn't want to go to the next turn next. So here we're just gonna do if enemy HP is less than 0, enemy hide, print player wins, and then return. So this will just end the turn, as opposed to turn, which will return. Never mind. So check for enemy death. Yeah. If player HP is less than or equal to 0, player hide, print player loses, and then return. I just realized my camera's off. I don't care. I bought a nice webcam a little while ago, and I use it a couple times, but I keep forgetting to turn it on. Oh, I'm too scared to press unhide. Whatever. We don't need it. So that's all that. Let's see what happens here. Okay, the enemy should never be able to heal that much. So I clearly missed something. But the enemy just killed me, so it works. Can't we kill the enemy? No, we cannot kill the enemy because the player currently does not do anything. Yeah, nothing in the player. So that's just gonna be this. Except he's gonna have fireball. And then we'll, in battle, player execute will just be player execute. Player selection to the player. No, to the enemy. Oopsie. And again, once we have multiple enemies that we could attack, we would just be changing this argument. So, yeah, this is, I think this is it. We still need to show some UI, but let's see if I could kill this guy. 6 damage, damn bro. Why are they healing 15? It's way too much. Oh, I don't think it costs anything to do that. So no one's dying. I think we healed way too much. Or something. I definitely missed something here. Let me see. Actor spend. MP minus equals cost. I mean, we don't have anything that prevents you from using something if you don't have enough MP. Oh, we're not even spending the MP. But heal. Min, max HP. That's right? Heal is min, max HP, HP plus 6. Well, let's add in the UI and see if that can explain what's going on. That's just going to be a couple labels. Oops. I'm definitely doing something wrong, but we shall see what. I wouldn't set to enemy or max HP plus 6 because that'll go above the max HP, you know. We'll see in a second. We'll see once we have this listed out. So this will have a function called update UI, which we're just going to do a couple times throughout the turn. Function update UI returns nothing. HP text equals string HP max 0 player HP. Player HP will technically be able to go less than 0, but we're just not going to show that. MP text equals string MP max 0 player MP enemy HP. It says HP plus equals. What does it say? Heal it. Oh. Wait. Wait. But it works on my other one. This is exactly how it looks. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. It wouldn't be double equals because that's a condition. That's a checking if it is equal to. Oh, message retracted. Loving the look. Which theme are you using for Godot? I am using Alien, I think. Yes, Alien. Very pretty. I am going to show the enemy's HP just because I need a debug. Oh, we also have to update the UI a bunch of times. So after any time we execute, we're going to update UI. And we're also going to do it at the start of the turn. HP is 15. Oh wait, and there's also something that I didn't do here. Action menu. So we need to prevent the player from being able to use more than its MP. So it's going to do if game state player MP is greater than equal cost. Game state player spend cost deactivate. So that's what's gonna hide it. I'll take that out from here. I forgot about that. Oh, I guess it doesn't need to be there. Doesn't need to be here, I mean. See ya, Element. Thank you for coming. Else print not enough MP. Peace. Okay. Hello, Muliana. Self HP plus equals heal. Heal equals. Okay, now it's working. It worked perfectly on my laptop, which is making me nervous. What am I missing? So this guy's tough. Enemy does not care about his MP usage. Something I could worry about later. Should have just killed him there. Damn it. I'm using release candidate 2. 3.2 release candidate 2. So almost stable. I did it. Killed him. Hello, Enrico, sorry. So that's everything I have on my laptop. So we are now up to date, and there's some changes. Decided to do things differently as I was doing it. So now Let's see. Now I need a sip of water. So we need to do something here. I'm trying to think of what's next. I know there's a million things we do have to do. I guess, oops. I guess adding it to, instead of printing to console, to print to the screen, maybe? Although, I don't want to do that, because in my game, I don't want it to, it's not going to be like this. It's ugly. I'd rather it be, not like that. We could do basic animations. Like, I'm talking no interaction, just the player walking up and doing something, and then maybe it'll spit out the damage numbers on top. I'm leaning towards that right now. We could do multiple enemies, but as important as that is, it's not necessary this moment. Can you make a quick recap of the code since I missed? Yes, sure, because we just finished everything I needed to seek. I needed to do. So here's turn-based battles 101. Separated into 4 major sections, 2 major sections with a bunch of individual smaller sections. So the player turn, what this is doing is it's waiting for the player to make a selection in this menu. And this menu, all this menu is it has a couple different buttons. When you press that button, it'll emit a signal. Once that signal is emitted, the code continues, because we yield here until the menu emits that signal. And then activate is just show, deactivate is just hide. So once the player has this selection, we execute that. So let's say the player hit the attack button. What that does is the signal emits with attack here, and then that selection is saved right here. I'm sorry if I'm losing anyone right now. I'm not explaining this as best as I could. But basically, when you press a button, it sets it to this selection, and then it executes that selection. And all this execute button does is, depending on what it is, there's a finite amount of attacks that the player has. It'll just run that function. And these functions, everything is split into different things. These functions are just like, attack is like, oh, you can attack a target. All it'll do is, subtract some HP from them. And also print how much damage you did. So that's how the player turn is. Check if the enemy died after you attack. And then the enemy selection is the same thing. Instead of yielding until the player makes the selection, it's an AI. The enemy instantly makes the selection, and all that is it chooses a random selection from this list. N equals random integer size. Selection is one of these. Return selection. And just like how we asked for that selection and used player selection to execute, we ask for that enemy selection into this variable and execute that. Same thing, except it's the enemy executing it towards the player and not the player executing it towards the enemy. And then we check if the player died, and then if nobody died, then we just run this entire function again. So that's the basic gist. Very quickly, when I do a tutorial on this, obviously I'm gonna slow down. But what that gives you is, turn it on. We have 15 HP, 20 MP. We could damage this dude. We could heal ourselves. He just healed himself. And it's impossible. This guy's way too hard. But that's fine. Trying to decide what's next. Thank you. So I think what I want to do next is the actual interactive stuff. So all of that was pretty guided because I did this on my laptop first. now we're gonna just be trying some random stuff. So strap in, folks. What I want is I want a different animation for the player for each attack. And how are we gonna do that? Basically, we're gonna specify certain points on the enemy where the player will approach, and then maybe I'll just have him shake a little bit, and then the player will return to his starting point. That's all we're gonna do. And basically, when we do the Paper Mario stuff, you know, each enemy will have their own size, their own things, their own places that get hit, and we'll specify those positions. So let's just start. Enemy is going to have a position. So the player will, I think he's just going to tween himself to this position. Do I want him to tween himself? Probably. Yeah. He's going to tween there and then attack and then walk back. Wait, no. What do I want? Just want a container for, yeah, sure. So this stuff will not be covered in a tutorial. Or probably won't. The tutorial will just be mostly dialogue boxes and stuff. Which is definitely going to be less interesting than this, I think. But I don't think I'm going to cover all of this in 15-minute intervals. So basically the player's going to tween himself over there and then something. We'll see. Okay, we'll have to see if I remember how to use tweens. But okay. Here's one we're going to have to yield until executed. So whatever the selection is, we're going to wait until it's done and then go. We're also just going to, just to be sure, we're going to wait a tiny bit because that yield is going to mess with things if we don't do this. Create timer. Oh, timeout. There we go. I'm gonna be a little worse at explaining this stuff just because I'm figuring it out as I go. But let's see if regular things still work. It does still work, and you could see the menu actually hides because the turn isn't instantaneous anymore. We're actually gonna yield until these finish. Yeah. So attack finish is going to be attack animation finished. Yield self attack finished. And then we also need to wait. We're gonna need to add some, okay, the thing I just erased. I need to add it to all of these attacks. We basically need some fake animations in these attacks. And this is why I want these to be separate for the player and enemies. So I'm going to copy this into the player. Is it going to complain about it, them already existing? No, okay. Because the enemies are just going to do it, but the player is going to have their own stuff. So that, we're just going to copy and paste everything. Player doesn't learn ice. There we go. Oh, and we have to emit the signal. So emit signal, attack finished. And all of the attack animation-y stuff is going to be in these functions. So like I'm going to, for the attack, I'm probably going to yield, and we're going to start a tween to tween the player to wherever he is. Hold on, we'll see. So, let's see. How do I use tweens? So we're going to interpolate a property. Yeah. Interpolate property. Self, position, initial value will be home position, final value will be target. Hold on. We're going to tween from the home position to that target position attack for, let's say, 1 second. Linear, ease in out. I think that's everything you need. We're going to yield what is it called? All right, let's see if this does anything. No. Interpolate property and base tween cannot convert argument 2 from vector 2 to node path. Oh. Please. Cannot. What do you mean? Target, position, attack. Ugh. But it's a position now. Alright, let's move it back to that. And let's do position, attack, position. Right? Buddy. index position. Okay, okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, I don't know what it's doing. Cannot convert argument 2 from vector 2 to node path. Does anyone see what I'm missing here? Well, I'll hard code this for now. Position must be a string? Why? Did I accidentally type string somewhere? Vector 2. Well, because it's a property? Oh, thank you, 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 thank you. You're right. Okay. Yes. Yeah, gotcha, gotcha. I know what you mean. Forgot. Thank you. Okay. So that... Is this a position? Yeah. Just fix this up real quick. Change this into that. Please, please, please. Damn it. Well, I mean, the idea is there. Basically, we're just gonna code in some tweens here, and then, it'll work. Like, we have an animation. But why is he going that far? Did I move this? Positions attack position. Oh, I need global position. My bad. So let's just change all these to global position. Make this a lot easier. Maybe that'll work. Or this should probably also be global position. Okay, so we have that. Now we just need... There's a couple different things we can do. I'm thinking just making him shake a little bit. Or we'll have him go like bam a little bit. This is a mess. If there's any cute way that I could do this with the animation players, I'll figure that out eventually. But this is kind of a mess. And then we just need to... Oh, this should only be like 0.2. And then... Or just home position. All right. Alright, if anyone wants to yell at me for this, do it now. This is why I say that, this is why I say that the actual tutorials will be mostly dialogue based. Because this is the first thing that came out of my mind. Make this shorter. Maybe just like that. Should an animation be less messy than multiple tweens? Absolutely. However, I'm doing it this way because I wouldn't know, like, I can't make him animate, go 10 steps. See, once this is all put together, there's going to be a mix of tweens to move towards it. Like, okay, I'm not gonna have most of this. Basically, it's gonna tween its position. All of this will be replaced. There's just gonna be 2 tweens. I think I just did it this way because I'm lazy. We're going to tween the position to the target attack position, which is just going to be a predefined spot on any enemy that will say, hey, this is where the player would walk up and attack. Then the player will have an attack animation, and that's going to have a lot of its own logic. Because it's also going to be interactive. Paper Mario has action commands, like you jump on a dude, but if you press A at a certain time, then you do a second jump. So that some of that's probably going to have to be hard-coded in somehow. I was experimenting with... Was it here? No, this didn't have it. This was my first experiment with turn-based. This is something I didn't... Let me see how I did this. Okay, I think it was kind of the same. But I think this is a lot harder to read. I did have a project where I was experimenting with Paper Mario Battle System. I'm not sure if I deleted it. And I don't know why I would delete it. Yeah, I think I deleted it. My bad. But I used an animation player to define specific points of the attack. Like, I don't know. I can't even explain it. I don't remember enough. It was probably bad, and that's why I deleted it. I usually don't just delete my projects, though. Anyway, let's just see this again. Player just dies because the enemy moves instantaneously. So, let's see. So, I mean, that worked. I don't want to do it for Fireball or Heal right now. I kind of want to It's always a lot harder for me to work on a project when it's this ugly. I did the turn-based stuff. The turn-based stuff is done. Like, all of this is finished. What I'm trying to do right now is trying to get started on my own thing, but my own thing is gonna look totally different. So maybe I should just start changing the menus around like they're supposed to be. But that's gonna be in a 3D project. I intend to stream the complete process of this, as long as people are still interested. So maybe I should just start making this 3D? Huh. What do you think? Do y'all want to see me start fresh on something, but use some of this? I have no intention of stopping right now. I'm just wondering if what I want to do is something worthwhile. How to specify a certain time you call the damage when making an animation because you call... Sorry for my bad English. I'm sorry, what? How to specify a certain time of you call the damage when making an animation. Oh, do you mean like damage him at a certain point here? Like, right here is when the like here. Then I also want to do actor damage. We're gonna do get parent update UI. Pa. So yeah, that's a quick thing. Pa. Pa. Oh, am I gonna get him? I did it. I did it, guys. I beat him. So, okay. You wanna... So, Grant said functionality first. Which I agree with, but I think the functionality is here. Yeah, the whole animation is gonna be redone. Game Endeavor. It's all an ugly list of tweens. But basically, I'm going to tween the player's position to a certain point, which is going to depend on the enemy. It's going to be the target position attack. Then I'll do an animation here, and this is also where all the logic's going to be. And then that. Let's see. I can start transitioning this into 3D. If I start transitioning this into 3D, it would probably just be sprite 3. I mean, the whole thing is just gonna be sprite 3Ds. But then I'll be able to really map out how this should look. Yeah, let's start making this 3D. I could... Hold on. Or let's try making an action command here. We're going to move the attack position right here so that the player moves to his left. And we're also going to do this. Still moves up. 16 0. Wrong way. Okay, so Yeah, these tweens are dumb. But all of this is getting replaced right now. We're gonna replace all this with what am I saying? An animation. So, and on the animation, we're going to check at a certain point if an input is pressed. See, we're gonna do a jump animation. Let's go with that. And I don't think I'm gonna have an actual jump animation in the Paper Mario thing, but we're just trying to make something here. And the jump animation basically is gonna stop right here, then he's gonna arc up and end. The animation itself is just gonna have him go up and down, but meanwhile it will also be tweening that way. I think this should work. This should work. So, animation player. Animation player, we're going to have jump and jump success. I am probably gonna redo all of this either at the next stream or off stream to make it 3D, but I'm just gonna prototype in front of y'all. 30 viewers, what are y'all doing here? Thanks for coming. So jump is just going to he's gonna start off right here. He's gonna move up, I guess. I have 128 pixels. Oops, I forgot to do this first. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Is there a way to make this look better? Yeah, like that. That's how. So, here. Half the speed. Make him slower? Well, let's see how this looks first. But basically, we're going to faster? Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Just a little faster. Okay, maybe. No, I'm gonna keep it slow because this is gonna be interactive and I'm gonna be bad at it at first. But we're going to basically, if the player presses A, I think it's gonna be like at 0.75 right here. We're gonna go to jump success. So where is he right now? Sprite is at negative 54.27. Jump success is gonna be start right there. Go back up to negative 128. And then finally go down. So we're just gonna check for a button press in that section there. And honestly, this doesn't need to be any longer, I think. Just like this. Bam. So right there, if it's successful, within this range, so I'm gonna check if spacebar is pressed between a certain threshold. Then go to jump success. So let's see how that works. And we're also going to be tweening as well. So we can remove all this. All of this. So it'll yield once we get back to this position. We're going to play jump, and at the same time we're going to yield can you do this? Does that work? Yeah, I'll fix the actual animations once I could see if this works. Here. Let's just see if this does anything. Love it. Okay, what did I do here? We gotta set the sprite back to normal. Autoplay that. Okay. So I definitely put something wrong here. Global position X. Tween interpolate property global. I gotta keep this all constant right now. So yeah, speed 1. Yeah, where am I sending this guy back? Target position X. Oh, I didn't yield here. I think that's it. No, that's not it. I want him to be jumping up here, not all the way back there. Animation player, play jump. Where are you increasing Y? I'm only increasing Y within this animation, and it's only the sprite. But somehow the X is getting sent back right here. You see? That's just the sprite going up. He's just going here, then back. That's all that's happening. So yield tween all completed. So here's what happens. He starts from where he is and goes to home position, or goes from home position to target attack. Position attack. And once that finishes, he goes from target position attack X. Oh, global. Nope, that wasn't it. Thought that was it. Well, technically this doesn't have to be just X. This. Okay, I don't know why the. I'm happy that works, but I don't know why I couldn't just do that. So right at around, he died. Right at around this point, at around 0.75, if the player presses X, or space, let's go with, can you run a method multiple times throughout an animation? Let's see. Call method, player, insert key, check attack input. So if I do this, will this be continuous? No, you can't. Damn it. That would have been so nice. Because basically what I wanted it to do is to process for those 0.2 seconds. Ugh, damn. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. What we're going to do instead is player will have input if event is action pressed. Let's just do like a new key called space. Space. How would I use recursion there? Oh, yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Yes, okay. Wait, maybe I see what you mean. Hold on, I'm gonna try what I'm thinking right now. So, yeah, so I'll just, check attack input, but only until if, current animation position is less than or equal to 0.8. Gonna hard code this for now. So that should end. Here, let's try this. And then if input is action just pressed space. Then animation player play jump success. And then also tween stop. Okay. Let's try this. Let's try this. Oh, no! Damn it! Okay. Yeah, because it wouldn't... Yeah, it's not going to be that easy. What we could do is we could just turn on process for a few frames. But this is gonna get messy once we have multiple attacks. But let's just try it for one right now. Try checking your input outside of the recursive. What do you mean by that? You could just set a variable in the check function, then check it in the event function with just press space. Check input, start recursive. But I'm recursing. Why not simply use a Boolean flag to mark the time when you want to attack? Well, yeah, that's what I think I'm going to move to right now. Yield in your recurse. Yield to what? What do I yield to? use a while loop, then yield the get tree idle frame, while oh god damn it, I kind of see what you're saying. I'm trying to while but wouldn't while I want to keep check. Basically I just want to check for input within here. I want to check for input for a fraction of a second. While animation player is playing, well, I would want it to be while. I want it to be more like this, because this will start there. Ugh, I don't know. Would it go in there? Where would the yield go? This doesn't seem right to me. I'm probably not following along correctly. Except it kind of worked. Hold up. Oh, did it work? Ah! Hold up. Yo, I was just guessing everything you were saying. Oh, hello. Hello. Not responding. Well, I think... Why not use a timer that starts when you input the action button, then check during the frame if the timer isn't stopped? No, you gotta kill it. It keeps calling. But why does it keep calling? Because this should only happen... Oh. Yeah. Wait. Let's try that. Did that do it? Like, it's frozen, but I didn't end this correctly. I think it worked. Bruh. Play jump. I also would like to yield until... But tween start. Well, once this stops, shouldn't this continue? Finish. Is that a signal? Animation finished. I don't want a specific animation. Signals. Does it matter? No, I don't. Does this matter if, do I have to input one? Or can I just say animation finish? Will this get mad at me? Nah, it's bugging out. Okay, while while I think I'm getting here with this, I just thought of something that'll be much easier. So I'm gonna remove all this. I was very close, but why don't I... What do you mean Boolean? And also, could I use a while loop? I could just use a while loop. Yeah, because I'm yielding until the next idle frame. That's why that would work at all. Doi. Well, it made it here. But now it's yielding until animation finish, but okay, well, it's continuing. Let's see if it's ever reaching this. No, I would see it. It would play jump success. Okay, so that's not working. Editor icon color? What do you mean? This editor icon? The animation player set a Boolean flag, then check in the event if flag is set and button press. Oh yeah, that's what that was the, okay. That's what I was going to do. I was going to do current action. This is what I am going to do because I'm done with this. The way I got the theme was you go to editor settings, go to theme, and then select, I have it set to Alien Terra. Also, welcome back. So man, all I know right now is I would not want to work with this for too many different attacks, so hopefully I find something cleaner. You need 2 functions to call from the animation player. No. I have an idea here, I think. Oh yeah, I do. You're right. Yeah, true. How do you do this again? How do I make my export variable show up? Export boolvar action ready. Come on, bro. Export. Hey, anyone know why my export variable is? Just gonna turn off and back on. That works sometimes. What is this project called? Turn-based RPG. Hello? Oh, it's because the script error. Dory. Yeah, we'll get back to you. And we'll just keep process on all the time. Because, yeah, we're just going to use the bool. There we go. So, jump. We're going to set action ready on. Action ready off. Action ready off. Make sure it's off. Off. Everywhere else. Then current action is attack. Do. Yeah? Okay. I haven't seen him. Animation player play jump success. Yield. Good night, Tara. See, it gets fucky here. The desired effect is if we press A at a certain, while this says true, to jump and then continue on afterwards. But what it looks like happens is he just falls in. It's stuck. Man, there's gotta be a non-stupid way of doing all this. I know it's gonna look like this to some extent, but I was hoping that it would look ugly but still make sense, you know? I just didn't find that sense yet. So this is what's killing that. I wonder if that do what I want? Yeah, it's not switching the animation at all. So match current action attack. You know, get rid of all that. Just do if action ready and input is action. Let's just do is action press for now, so I could hold it. Animation player play jump success. Here, let's just try. Okay. That's closer. I wonder if there's something fucky going on with this current action thing. Also, I mean, I could put all these tweens in the animation, right? Why don't I do that? Is that... I don't know how. Could do like a... Here, before we try, let's get rid of this for right now. Before we do that, let's see if we can make this not so ugly first. Hey, puppy. Come here. Come here. Check out my dog. Also, hello. Puppy. Okay, goodbye. Okay. So let's make this pretty. Function. Move to. I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I'm just gonna... From vector 2, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. This will be length. So what jump would be, we'll make this like 5 seconds. We'll move this guy over here. Right at the beginning, we would call a method. That method would be move2. Move2 doesn't exist. Save. Insert. Move2. Gonna go from. No, you can't. It's gotta be absolute things. You can't pass things, can you? Can you? Probably not. Alright, can't do that. So forget all that. Let's see. So we need the tweens. Does anyone have any other idea, or can we agree that we need the tweens? Need the tweens. Okay, so and state management. Man, I don't want to have to deal with so many different states for every single different attack. I was hoping that there's just gonna be a way to for it to work. Here, let's just think for a second. Approach enemy. Jump on enemy. Go back. Finish. So let's also get all these guys back to where they were. Make it 1 second. Okay. Yeah, you just need approach attack method return. Can make attack dynamic. Can I do while I think this might do it. Damn it, he just stops. It froze. Oh, I have to yield for what was it? Hold on, I gotta scroll back up in chat. Gotta yield to get tree idle frame. Well, it didn't break yet. I did it. Okay, that's it. I did it. It's just ugly right now. If I don't press anything, then he just falls. If I do press it, then he goes. Nah, it has to be very... It's supposed to be very... It'll be more highlighted where it is during the game. But nah, it's supposed... Honestly, I think in the game it's even shorter. In Paper Mario. And I want it to feel similarly to Paper Mario. But I think that worked. It looks like it's only some frames in the animation player. No, this turns it on and this turns it off. And it's active while it's on. Unless you mean something else. No, there's supposed to be... This gives you a good, fifth of a second to do it. And a fifth of a second is like... Pah! You have that much time. This is when it's deactivated. You have 0.2 seconds. But it's going that slowly. And you could see when. Let's make this a lot quicker. We're not gonna start from anywhere, we're just gonna go back up. I don't think that'll smoothly animate from the last one. Hold on. I mean, I am close. But it's really ugly. We need to do some more stuff. I'm trying to think what that stuff will be. Because I think functionally it's there. It's just really ugly. But I don't know how to make QuickTime events. Really? I thought that would fix it. Well, that's definitely from this not being correct. Man, do I need another tween here? No, I can't. What does trigger mean? I don't know. Ugh, where is he here? Is that negative 90-ish? Let us see. I mean, yeah, that's it. Should you change the color? Sure. Yeah, that would be nice for now. Yeah, good idea. Oops. I want it to be discreet. And he's also, the tween starts from there. So I guess I'll just do from the global position. Okay, so that's already a good bit smoother. It's that last bit right there. I need to stop the tween as soon as space is pressed. But then that's gonna jank it a bit. No, that just did it. Oh, no, I killed it. Maybe instead of stopping the tween, I could start a new tween. Oh no, I can't just start it. Once it stops, I think... No, tween all completed, so I think I could start a new... Hold on, let me see. Maybe I should just also wait. Wait, that's the wrong place. Oh, I'm not even waiting until tween all completed here, am I? Here, let's just see. Should you change the color of... Oh, I just read that. That was a new message. Okay, he doesn't go. Yield tween all completed. The tween was probably had already stopped by then. So yield... No, it should just be this, because once the animation player stops, then, only then, do we go back. I guess it is working, though. Well, no, because what I wanted was for the tween to stop right here. But did that not work? Cannot keep a track of what I'm debugging. I'm sure that's annoying to watch. No, yeah, that's it. No, but he stops right there for some reason. Why does he stop there? We look at tree. Why does he stop right there? Because the thing is, I don't know if I'm just misunderstanding something or if this truly is just fucky. Anim fin. Does it ever get to emit signal? No. Doesn't get past here. Maybe I should just tween stop all. See, if I don't stop all there, then it's Gucci. And that's confusing because it should only stop all while animation player is playing. You know? Is tween completed called when you stop the tween? Oh, that's a good question. Oops. I mean, I'd imagine, right? Well, let's try, instead of stopping it, how about we try... No, because it's just stopping, it's not finishing. It's just stopping where it is, instead of ending. Is there an end? Do I have to seek to the end? Yeah, I think that's it. I'll seek to... Is there a current time or tween time property? Get runtime. What does tell? What's the current time of the tween? Well, I could just hard code this one. The tween lasts for 1 second, so we'll seek to 1. But no, that'll jump him there. Thank you, Grant, for coming and for your help. See you later. I think once we finish this, I'm gonna head off for the night, but I'll do another one soon. I do have homework, I just remembered. Alright, well that's hacky, but it works. Ideally, the tween would actually be shorter so he reaches it before. Yeah, it would be more like that, actually. Can you just seek to anything and it'll end it like that? I think so. Let's make the jump success higher. Like much higher. Let's try that. This should look dumb. Yeah. So let's make it just like... Oh, just another 32. speed up the animation. Both of them. It's kind of rough. Let's move the this point back. No. I need him to do more of this instead of... He needs to... His arc needs to end a lot sooner. Instead of going like that. Which is probably some stuff like this. What is it? I don't know. I don't know. That's definitely not in. No. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't need the wherever this break is. Oh, there is no break. I mean, I guess it's fine for now. For a quick test. And this code isn't as terrible as it was before. What do y'all think? Honestly, let's just... No. If it works, it works. That's true. It does kind of work. I'm happy with all the other turn-based stuff we did. I'm going to experiment a little bit more tonight. And get back to this tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. I'll stream soon. Good night. I'm tired. Bye-bye.